Alright, welcome. 7.5 volume of Composite Solids. Hope things are well. I'm sure you've missed me immensely. This is your video to watch over the weekend here. If you look and you kind of played around with this after your quiz yesterday, we're talking about a pyramid here and a rectangular prism here. We're going to look at the volume of these things. Unlike surface area where we're just talking about the outside here, we're talking about the entire thing. So we are going to include the entire pyramid and the entire prism down here. This is kind of an interesting one we're going to get into is taking away some things. Here you have a cone cut out of a rectangular prism, basically a cube. We're going to have to find the volume of this and subtract it out of this whole thing when we do these. So 7.5 volume of composite solids is what we're looking at here. Okay, here's an example. You have a figure with both a square pyramid at the top here and a square prism at the bottom. So we have to find the volume of both objects. It's nice here that it's been split up for you. We've got a square prism and we've got our square pyramid right here. Let's do both of them. Obviously the formulas for both are laid out for you. All I'm going to do is multiply 15 times 15 times 10, and 15 times 15 times 10 gets me 2,250. I need to add that to this side. I'm looking at 1/3. The base is 15, the base is 15, so times 15 times 15. My height is 8. Whoops, sorry, times 15 times 8. When I go ahead and I do that, I'm going to get 600. So I add the volume of one object together to the volume of the other object. When I add those two together, I get 2,850, and that is inches cubed. So I'm just taking the figures that we've done and just combining them together to make a composite solid. So that is my answer there. Here's another example, but this time we're going to take away a section. We have obviously a cylinder here with a hole cut out, think of a donut or something, and we have to decide how we go about doing this. I want to find the area of the entire cylinder. To do so, I'm going to multiply pi. My radius here is 9, so I'm going to say pi times 9 squared times my height is 3. When I go about doing that, I would get 81 times 3 is 243 pi. I'm going to leave that right there for a moment, and I'll subtract that. Excuse me. This one over here would be pi times 5 squared times the height of 3. 5 squared is 25. Multiply that by 3 is 75. So I'm looking at 75 pi. So I want to find basically what the volume of this object is over here, and I've got that center part of it gone. So I'm going to find the volume of this thing, and I'm going to subtract the volume of this thing. So I'm going to take the 243 pi, subtract 75 pi, and that would get me 168 pi. When I go ahead and I multiply that out, I get 527. Round to the nearest tenth is 0.5 meters cubed. Alright. Last one, very similar to what we just did. This time, it says to find the volume of the silver ring. We want to know just this part of the figure, just that part of the figure. They give us a lot of dimensions here that we have to consider and think about. The coin's a cylinder. We have 3 dimensions. We have 11.5, we have 8.5, and we have basically a thickness there of 2.2. So I'm going to go ahead and figure this out. The entire cylinder, I have to use the 11.5, so I'm going to go pi times 11.5 squared. Multiply that by the height here is 2.2. When I go about doing that, 11.5 squared times 2.2 gets me 290.95 pi. I now, excuse me, look at the inner cylinder. The radius is 8.5 right there. Sorry, kind of blocked that all up. I'm going to go pi times 8.5 squared times the 2.2. That becomes 158.95 pi. Okay, so I've got the volume of the entire cylinder and the volume of the inner cylinder. Now, what am I trying to find? I want to know just the silver ring part. So I'm going to take this and subtract again from the other one. When I subtract the two, I get, kind of running out of room here, I would get, let me erase some of this here mess. When I subtract the two, I'm subtracting 290.95 pi minus 158.95 pi. That gets me 132 pi, which when you multiply those two out gets you 414.5, and that would be, of course, millimeters cubed. So what have I just found? I have just found this thing right here, the volume of that, because I found the entire thing and I subtracted away the middle. That gives me the silver ring on the outside. So it takes just a few more steps, but it's the same stuff we've been doing, just adding or subtracting the different kinds of figures together or apart, depending on what you're asked to do. Hope this makes sense. We'll see you on Monday.